Have you ever heard of the sumo wrestler who deserved to be a yokozuna but never became one? That's Tamawashi Ichiro, a Mongolian titan with over 20 years of fierce battles and unforgettable wins. Why didn't he reach to be yokozuna? On the Sumo Spirit channel, we bring you the story of injustice. Batjargal Monk Orgil, now known in the world of sumo as Tamawashi Ichiro, was born on November 16, 1984, in distant Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. What was this wrestler's life like before he ever stepped onto a Japanese dojo? He grew up surrounded by an ancient tradition, Mongolian wrestling. In a country where this discipline is almost sacred, Tamawashi began practicing wrestling and other physical activities from a very young age. What did they give him? Strength, balance, coordination. Everything a great rikishi needs was already within him from the start, but his future seemed headed in a different direction. Hotel management? That was his original path, until fate intervened. During a visit to Japan to see his sister who was studying there, a twist of chance led them both to attend a sumo tournament at Ryogoku, the beating heart of sumo. And what happened there? They met Kakuryu, another wrestler of Mongolian origin. He introduced them to Kyokushusan, who in turn connected them with former sekiwake Terunofuji. That chain of encounters opened the door for Tamawashi to join the Kataonami stable in January 2004. His Mongolian background played a key role, not only for the athletic discipline he had inherited, but also for becoming part of a groundbreaking generation of foreign wrestlers. They brought with them fresh techniques, bold stances, and a fierce new mindset into the Japanese arena. He started from the bottom, steadily climbing the ranks. Only one losing record on his way to Makushita. One. Then, boom. 2007, a perfect 7-0. Champion. Next stop, Sekitori status in 2008. But it wasn't easy. He bounced up and down between Juryo and Makuchi. Fell, rose, fell again. But he never gave up. Then came 2015. After 38 tournaments, the slowest ever for a foreigner, he reached Sanyaku. Finally! And guess what? He wasn't done. He shocked everyone by beating Yokozuna Haruma Fuji, his very first Kinboshi. Slow? Maybe. But dangerous? Absolutely. 2016, the turning point. As Komusubi, he took down not one, but several ōzeki, and he got his first technique prize. About time. He was promoted to sekiwake, and stayed there for 4 straight tournaments. Solid. Here's the wild part. He never missed a single bout. Not one. By May 2017, he had fought 1,000 matches in a row. Unstoppable. Tamawashi isn't just tough, he's legendary. Could this be the next big leap? But momentum is a fragile thing. In the tournaments that followed, Tamawashi couldn't hold the line. 2 back-to-back 7-8 records in July and September 2017 brought his rising arc to a sudden pause. What went wrong? Inconsistency. A trait that would haunt even his brightest moments. January 2019. What happened? Tamawashi shocked the sumo world. After years of grinding, he finally won his first Makuchi Division Championship. Record? A dominating 13-2. But that's not even the wildest part. Guess who he beat? Hakuho. Yes, the Hakuho. After 13 straight losses, he finally took him down on the 14th try. And on day 15, with everything on the line, Tamawashi faced Endo, both chasing glory. The match was electric. One slip, one mistake, it was over. But Tamawashi delivered. Boom! A powerful Tsukiyotoshi. Victory sealed. 13-2. Champion. Can you win with pure grit? Tamawashi says yes. And just when you thought his day couldn't get better, plot twist. His wife gave birth, the very same day. A yusho in the ring, a new baby at home. One day, 2 life-changing moments. Oh, and he did all this at age 34, the second oldest first-time champion since 1958. So, was Tamawashi on his way to becoming a yokozuna? Almost. He just needed one more great tournament. Just one. But it didn't happen. After his championship win, he fell hard. Only 5 wins, 10 losses. Say goodbye to sekiwake. Was that the end? Nope. In May, he came back strong. 10 wins at Megashira 3. And yes, another Kinboshi. This time over Kakuryu. That win shot him right back to sekiwake for July. Could he make the magic happen again? Not quite. Another 5 to 10. Another fall. By 2021, he had dropped all the way to Megashira 10, his lowest rank since 2016. So, was the dream over? Or was Tamawashi just getting started again? And Tamawashi wasn't finished yet. In September 2022, at the remarkable age of 37, he shocked the sumo world once more, claiming his second yusho and solidifying his place in the history books as the oldest tournament winner since the 6 basho per year era began in 1958. From the very start of the 2022 Aki Basho, Tamawashi demonstrated not just strength, but the hallmarks of a veteran: unwavering discipline, refined technique, and relentless forward pressure. He fought with a clarity of purpose that stood out in a field of younger competitors. One of the defining moments came on day 5, when he faced none other than Yokozuna Terunofuji. Unfazed by the champion's presence, Tamawashi unleashed a calculated storm of thrusts to the neck, destabilizing the Yokozuna and driving under his arm. From there, he executed a textbook yorikiri, a frontal force out, earning a Kinboshi and improving to 5-0, seizing sole leadership of the tournament. As one commentator put it, sent several arm thrusts to the neck, then got under the arm, frontal force out, improved to 5-0. But the final challenge still awaited him. On day 15, he faced Takayasu, who came in with an 11-4 record and his own hopes of clinching the title. Tamawashi, undeterred, met him head-on. With his trademark pushing attack, he delivered a powerful oshidashi, a frontal push-out, that not only secured the win, but also left Takayasu with an injured arm. That final victory brought Tamawashi's record to an impressive 13-2, locking in his second yusho. More than just a personal triumph, it was a historic moment. At 37 years and 10 months old, he had become the oldest champion of the modern 6-tournament era, a testament to resilience, longevity, and the timeless power of fundamentals. Both of Tamawashi's tournament victories served as vivid demonstrations of his command over Oshizumo, his preferred pushing and thrusting style. Each bout was a showcase of explosive forward momentum, sharp timing, and tactical clarity. He dismantled opponents not with trickery or agility, but with sheer precision and relentless pressure. But what made these triumphs truly remarkable wasn't just the quality of sumo, it was the timing. These victories came long after most had assumed his best years were behind him. In doing so, Tamawashi quietly redefined the role of the veteran in sumo. He proved that age could be more than a liability. It could be an asset. With years of experience came patience, composure, and a deep familiarity with the rhythms of the ring. His wins weren't just personal milestones, they were statements. Tamawashi didn't merely compete with the best of his generation. He beat them, and he did it on his own terms. He didn't just win, he challenged the assumptions of what victory is supposed to look like. So why, despite all this, was he never promoted to Yokozuna? What exactly was missing? The answer lies in the expectations that surround sumo's highest rank. The title of Yokozuna is not awarded for flashes of brilliance. It demands sustained excellence, especially from those already holding the rank of ōzeki or sekiwake. While Tamawashi did climb to sekiwake and won both of his yusho from that rank, he never followed those victories with the kind of consistent dominance that the Sumo Association looks for in a grand champion. His title runs were electrifying, but they weren't sustained. Too often, he stumbled in the tournaments that followed, dropping matches to lower-ranked opponents or finishing with losing records just when the momentum could have carried him forward. Those 7s to 8s didn't just slow his rise, they ended it. And then, there's the stylistic question. Is raw power alone enough? Tamawashi's sumo, built on thrusts, forward drives, and punishing tsupari, was undeniably effective. But sumo's ideal yokozuna is expected to embody not just victory, but hinshitsu, quality, refinement, and dignity. Mastery of a broader range of techniques, the ability to adapt mid-bout, and a sense of calm elegance in motion are all considered hallmarks of yokozuna-level sumo. In this regard, Tamawashi's peers, especially fellow Mongolians like Hakuho and Kakuryu, offered more of the complete package. Where they blended strength with grace, Tamawashi remained a specialist, and sometimes specialists don't fit the mold. He came close enough to leave a lasting mark. Tamawashi touched greatness. He seized it, held it, and for brief, brilliant moments, stood atop the sumo world. But the path to Yokozuna is narrow, and the standard is unyielding. For Tamawashi, it remained just beyond reach, standing tall at around 6 feet 2 inches, and tipping the scales at nearly 400 pounds. Tamawashi Ichiro is a mountain of muscle, and a nightmare to face in the dohyo. But what really makes him stand out? Is it his size, his age-defying stamina, or maybe it's his sumo style? Because Tamawashi doesn't do fancy things. No dramatic throws, no deep grapples. His sumo is direct, brutal, and beautifully simple. Over 50% of his wins come by oshidashi, a clean frontal push-out. Another 13%, oshitaoshi, a frontal push-down, and yorikiri, just 8%. Compare that to the average of 25% and you'll see he's not playing by the usual rules. So, what does that tell you? Tamawashi is here to dominate, not dance. He bulldozes, overwhelms, and shoves his way to victory. No frills, no hesitation. That's exactly why they call him the Iron Man of Sumo. But what does that nickname really mean? It's not just about strength, it's about resilience. Tamawashi has stood firm for decades, refusing to miss a single bout, outlasting younger, flashier rivals again and again. And the secret? Balance. Not just physical, but emotional. Calm under pressure, steady at the edge. It's that blend of raw power and mental poise that has kept him standing when others fall. Tamawashi doesn't just fight, he endures. You can see that Iron Man spirit on full display in his 5 best bouts. Want to dive into them? Number 1. Tamawashi vs Endo in Hatsubasho 2019. In the 2019 Hatsubasho, Tamawashi, already ranked as sekiwake, delivered one of the biggest surprises of his career by winning his first yusho with a 13-2 belt on day 15. His opponent was Japanese Magashira 9 Endo, who was also in contention for the title. The match was intense. Endo charged hard from the tachi-ai, but Tamawashi held firm, maneuvered calmly, and executed a powerful tsukiotoshi, a thrust-down technique that sent his rival out of the dohyo. That victory secured him the championship. Number 2. Tamawashi vs Ura in the Kyushu 2022. Tamawashi caught everyone's attention by using the rare gaso hineri, a nearly extinct technique last seen in 1965 to defeat Urabua. He placed one hand on the opponent's neck and the other on the shoulder, twisting Ura's body with a precise spin that brought him down. The technique's impact was so notable that both media outlets and fans widely commented on its surprising appearance. Number 3. Tamawashi vs Terunofuji in the Harubasho 2025. Tamawashi charged forward with his trademark power and relentless thrusts, keeping Terunofuji constantly off balance. Despite efforts to resist, Terunofuji was steadily driven back and eventually lost his footing, falling to a forceful oshitaoshi. Tamawashi secured a dominant win, improving to 3-1 and clearly controlling the match from start to finish. Number 4. Tenkaiho vs Tamawashi in the Natsu 2012. Both clashed in a frontal tatoaya where Tenkaiho attempted tsupari, but Tamawashi pushed in forcefully, managed to get a grip, and controlled his opponent's center of gravity. With a firm push from shoulder and leg, Tamawashi tilted Tenkaiho backward, and advancing his feet, drove him out of the dohyo, scoring a yorityoshi. Tamawashi consolidated and stood at 2-1 this Mongolia. Number 5. Tamawashi vs Kagayaki in the Akibasho 2024. Tamawashi secured the all-time Ironman record that day by stepping onto the dohyo against Kagayaki. The crowd roared when Tamawashi achieved his first victory of the tournament by executing an impressive oshidashi that expelled Kagayaki, who circled the dohyo and ended up outside. Tamawashi's record stood at 1,000. Can you believe it? At 40 years old, Tamawashi is still going strong in Sumo's top division. Who says age has to slow you down? In 2025 alone, he's put up solid records, 9-6, 10-5, and 6-9. Not bad for a man competing against wrestlers half his age. And get this, he's never suffered a major injury. Not once. That kind of durability is unheard of in this brutal sport. In fact, Tamawashi holds the all-time record for most consecutive top division bouts, 1653, and counting. How does he do it? Genetics? Discipline? Secret Mongolian magic? And he's not done yet. He says he's aiming for a return to the Sanyaku ranks. So here's the real question. When will this Iron Man of sumo finally hang up the mawashi? Your guess is as good as ours. For many people, his oshidashi-based style helps him avoid the kinds of injuries that plague other wrestlers, but even so, it's nothing short of a miracle that he's still competing at the highest level against opponents nearly half his age. Tamawashi Ichiro, with over 20 years of career and a couple of Emperor's Cups to his name, has proven that greatness doesn't always need a title. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the Sumo Spirit channel for more content. See you in the next video.